Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sorry. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Anyone can come on if they want. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This place feels 100% better than that place.
Really?
Yeah, much better. The energy is much better here. Yeah, I mean, that was okay, but this is really nice. I really feel the energy is much
And I
better.
need the new persons.
Yeah.
No, I said doing
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Oh,
Hare,
thank God.
Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna. I'm so sorry. Purification. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Sorry. Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
You want to read a little bit?
Sí. I need to use the restroom.
Okay. Whoops. Gauranga. Just a little bit more and then call it a night. So, everybody, how's it going out there? Let's see. Let's find something here. Let's see. Oops. Hare Krishna. Let's see here. How about Bhagavad Gita? Or actually, Hare Krishna. Oops. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Let's see what else we got here.
Ahora quiero que comas, por favor. Acá vas a comer. Acá voy a
So we'll read Krishna. It's called Krishna book. It's about Lord Krishna.
Okay. You want to read?
You can read this.
Okay.
Oh, let me do
Maybe.
that thing. We'll make it to a window. Oops.
A comer, gorda, por favor.
Oops.
Dale, a comer, gorda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare.
A comer, gorda, por favor. Dale, gorda. Vas a comer tu comida, por favor. Tu comida.
Let's move this over
This
here.
is actually what is happening now, no?
Yeah, it's kind of like a repeat, isn't it? Oops, I keep losing it. It's not working as good as it usually does.
Nice to be here. Oh, thank you, Janaki. Or everyone, no? I didn't read anything.
All right, we won't be able to see the comments as good as I'd like it. Oh, yeah, I can.
Thank you. Slow down.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Once the world was
This is Advent. This Krishna book, the Advent of Lord Krishna, Chapter 1.
Once the world was overburdened by unnecessary defense force of different kings who were actually demons but were posting themselves as the royal order. At that time, the whole world became perturbed, and the predominating deity of this earth, known as royal order. At that time, the whole world.
Okay, so now we got the chat this way. Here we go. See the chat here.
Oh, okay. Okay. So at that time, the world became perturbed, and the predominant deity of this earth, as known as Bhumi, went to see the Lord
Brahma,
Brahma, to tell her
of her calamities.
calamities due to the demoniac kings. Bhumi assumed the shape of a cow and presented herself before Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes. She was
Bereaved.
bereaved and was weeping just to invoke the Lord's compassion. She relate the calamitous position to the earth, and after hearing this, Lord Brahma became much grieved, and he at once started for
The
ocean of milk, where Lord Vishnu resides. Lord Brahma.
Yeah, actually, this is really interesting because I get all these revelations when you read stuff like this. It's really amazing. Um, that's what's happening now. The earth is aggrieved because of the demoniac things. You could say the earth, people, on the earth, they're unhappy because these demoniac kings, they want excessive control, and they think very selfishly of themselves, hypocritically, and all of that. And so this is all happening, and you notice it's like a repeat. It's like a repetition of what happened. Yeah, what happened before. Yeah, and so it's interesting. So the earth petitions the demigods, petitions Lord Brahma, and he hears the plight of the world. He feels unhappy, and then what does he do? Does he try to do anything about it on his own? He goes to the ocean of milk, see, and he prays to the Lord. Now, isn't it ocean of milk? See, this ocean is where God is. It's a milk. It's very milky. It's very blissful, very ecstatic. And he's going to pray to the Lord for help. And this is what people that are devotees naturally do in these kinds of times. And that's why, when the pressure is on people because the demons are getting stronger influence, and they start to make people very unhappy. The godly, they turn to the Lord, for help. So it's pretty interesting how this works. And so this is going to show you how God saves the day. And see, people don't know these things. And the Vedas are really nice. They explain everything very clearly, and it's like a history lesson. You know how they rewrite history. These demons have been doing. They've been rewriting history. We're just finding this out. That's what they've been doing. It's like they've been in charge, but they didn't rewrite this history. This goes over their heads. This is why this knowledge is deeper and beyond their even understanding. It bewilders even them, and you can see how how everything is connected in that sense, to God and His plan and what He's really going to do. So we're going to learn that here. Okay, Brahma, let's see what you have to say.
Okay, so Lord Brahma was once started for the ocean of milk. Did I say that right? No.
Yeah, ocean of milk.
Yeah, ocean of milk, where Lord Vishnu reside. Lord Brahma was accompanied by all the demigods, headed by Lord Shiva, and Bhumi also followed. Arriving on the shore of Milk Ocean, Lord Brahma began to pacify Lord Vishnu, who had formerly saved the earthly planet by assuming the transcendental form of a boar. Boar. Look at the clouds, the shapes of things. Okay. In the Vedic mantras, there is a particular type of prayer called Purusa Sukta. Generally, the demigods offer their obeisances,
Obeisances.
obeden- obeisances onto Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by chanting the Purusa Sukta. It is understood herein that predominating deity of every planet can see the Supreme Lord of this universe, Brahma, whenever there is some disturbance on his planet, and Brahma can approach the Supreme Lord Vishnu not by seeing him directly, but by standing on the shore of the ocean of milk. There is a planet within the universe called Svetap.
Sweetedweet.
Okay. And, and on that planet, there is an ocean of milk. It is understood from various Vedic literatures that just as there is an ocean of salt water on this planet, there are various kings of oceans on the planets. Kinds, no kings. There are various kinds of oceans on the planet. Somewhere there is an ocean of milk, somewhere there is an ocean of oil, and somewhere there are oceans of liquor and of many other types of liquids. The,
Yeah, and instead of see, a lot of times people just try to take this so literally that they miss the coded thing in there. So Lord Brahma goes to the ocean of milk. Ocean of milk with the milk inside there. The ocean of milk. He goes and he stands. If you're a devotee and you're a realized person like Brahma, this is the amazing thing. Lord Caitanya wants to make us realize like Lord Brahma. You'll stand on the ocean of bliss and you'll pray and you'll chant. See, and you connect. So the demigods, they went to Lord Brahma, the people of the earth and the good people, and they go to the Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma goes to the ocean. He's got this connection with Krishna or God in his spiritual manifestation, and he has the power to connect. They don't, or maybe some do, but many of them don't. So they go to Brahma. That's like the chain of disciplic line. And Brahma goes, prays. It's not like here. If you have a real guru, they are able to do that. They're able to, they call the Lord. They stand at the shore, and they call the Lord, and the Lord comes and connects, and then gives revelations on all that. They give to their disciples. That's a disciplic line. We need that. Otherwise everybody's just speculating. I see it every day with people. They're spiritual too, on spirit. Well, more or less. Most people don't even know what spirit is, because it's that. That means you've completely realized the truth. So Lord Brahma, he's qualified in that sense. He prays, and the Lord comes and gives him a message, and he gives that message to to his disciples, and which are basically all of humanity, or whoever, especially whoever accepts Lord Brahma's instructions or revelations like this, and that's how things work. Most people don't understand this principle and process, and they want to do it on their own. They don't want to go through the parampara. They just want to imagine things. Imagine it's this way. It's almost like an addiction. Imagine what things are, and instead of just going to a bona fide representative of this truth, of the absolute truth, and learn through that association of the way it works in a parampara. So Amy says, what does she say? I just read today about the significance of the cow, how it is a great animal and can provide for the community in so many different ways. Even the milk can be transformed for many different purposes. This makes me wonder about the Milky Ocean and the significance of being milk. Hey, that's interesting. Yeah, Amy, you're getting some good insights. Yeah, something to really contemplate, actually. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So the pur, puru, okay,
Oh, Purusha Shukta,
okay. In the standard prayer which the demigod recite to appease
appease.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Oh, Shiradaksha Vishnu,
that because he is the living,
lying,
is lying on the ocean of milk, he is called,
Shiradaksha Vishnu.
he is the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, through whom all incarnations within this universe appear. After the demigods offered the Pursua Sukta
Prayers.
prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the apparently heard no response. Then Lord Brahma personally sat in meditation, and there was a message transmission from Lord Vishnu to Brahma. Brahma then broadcast the message to the demigods.
Yeah, so you see, that's the parampara. You know, the qualified representative, like Brahma was, he gets that message. He can connect to the Lord, very, because he's been like a chosen, somehow or
Sí,
other.
sí, sí.
Yeah, and so he gets the revelation. The messages that come from God are very subtle, and they're in the spirit. See, and most people, they're not awakened yet, so they don't get those messages. Yeah,
Um, okay.
wherever you're at.
Yeah, I'm fine. Here also, in the same way, only Brahma could understand the message transmitted by Lord Vishnu, and he broadcast it to the demigods for their immediate action. The message was this: the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear on the earth very soon, along his supreme, powerful
Potencies.
potencies, and as long as he remained on the Earth planet to execute his mission of
Annihilating.
annihilating the demons and establishing the devotees, the demigods should also remain there to assist him. They should all immediately take birth in the family of Yadu
Yadu dynasty.
Yadu dynasty, wherein the Lord would also appear in due course of time. The Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Krishna, would personally appear as the
So,
son of
Vasudeva.
Vasudeva.
Yeah, so Lord Krishna came, and that was the message to Brahma that Lord Krishna was to come. He came again as Lord Caitanya and did the same thing.
Hmm.
He came 550 years ago. This was 5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And so he came 550 years ago. And he also brought his potencies. And potencies are his devotees, and they're, and then he did the same thing. He, what was this? What did he did here? Two,
This is new.
yeah.
I
Oh
put
yeah. Oh
new.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pure 10%. Pure as okay. His appearance, all the long shall appear. Yeah. Different for executing his mission. See, and the mission, that's very important to know. What is his mission of annihilating the demons and establishing the devotees? See, so that's the mission. Otherwise, everything is messed up here. So the devotees are the ones who are godly. They're ones who are into God. They know that they believe in the God. They trust there's a God. They act for the good of humanity. They're not selfish. People are so selfish. All this is when that's the modes of passion and ignorance. So the Lord comes to establish the devotees, and really the devotees are the ones who are self-realized. And Lord Chaitanya wants to make a whole universe filled with real devotees who know Him, who truly know Him. Because most people don't. Most people don't know God or what God really is. He's spirit, and He's not material. He's not a material speculation or conception. Um, yeah, and he reveals Himself by revelation, and that's the only way we could really know Him. Okay, go ahead.
They should all immediately take birth in the family of Jadu dynasty, wherein the Lord would also appear in due course of time. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Himself Krishna, would personally appear as the the son of Vasudeva, Vasudeva. uh, Before his appearance, all demigods, along with their wives, should appear in different pious families in the world just to assist the Lord executing His mission. The exact word used his use is tatprika. Okay, sorry. Here,
Tat part
yeah,
priyartam.
which means the demigods should appear on the earth in order to please the Lord. In other words, any living entity should live
Who?
who lives in only to satisfy the Lord is a demigod. The demigods were further informed that Ananta, the plenary
Portion.
portion of Lord Chaitanya, who is maintaining the universal planet by existing his millions of hoods.
Yeah, isn't it interesting that the people that are doing things now in control, they don't. The majority don't believe there is a God. Believe they're God. These WEF, World Economic Forum, they don't believe in God. They believe they are the gods, and they're here to shape the world. It's just exactly like that. And so the Lord appears with His devotees, and just like now, the Lord appears by this chanting. It appears by this chanting, and we're here to assist that purification of the planet, because that's the way he started it in 550 years ago, to start this Sankirtan movement. Just get people chanting, like we're doing here, and this purifies the atmosphere, and people start to become realize the truth and get purified in heart. There's really no other practical way, because otherwise everything's being destroyed. People are their selfishness and self-centeredness, and they're acting, trying to imitate God. All it does is end up in destruction. They're changing the weather. They're doing the chemtrails, lighting fires now. You have satellites that set things, the forest fires and everything. So this was done before. At this time, they did the same thing, and so it's a rerun.
How many million years afterwards, and we keep on repeating the
Yeah, as I
story.
say, yeah,
It's crazy, right?
yeah. It's the
There's
it's
no evolution in humankind.
well, there is an evolution, because you see, the evolution is this happens because of the modes of interaction of these modes of nature. Just automatically, it's like a machine. After a while, the modes of ignorance and passion become very strong, and they overcome the good people, and that's why we see they want to make us slaves. See the demon. That's what they make us slaves. Yeah, you see cameras everywhere here. Cameras everywhere now in Playa. Track and trace. Yeah. Oh yeah, these 5G now. And and cameras on every street corner now. Yeah, to observe everything. And,
Yeah.
and they facial recognition.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
To
Oh
do
yeah.
what? give you a fine or
Well, to know exactly who you are, where you live, and it goes into your Facebook account, what you do, what your habits are. They want to know everything. This is this demoniac thing. They want to take away the privacy. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know. They don't. You don't invest. Nobody investigates. I do because I like to know what's going on. Uh, but it's like a replay of. See, they didn't have this kind of technology then, so they did whatever they can do. They would put people in prison. They would take over the governments. They'd be very tyrannical. Like rule with an iron fist. See, that's so. Yeah. So anyway, the Lord has to come and do something to purify even those people because it gets out of hand. Just everything becomes destroyed.
you want to turn the light on?
Yeah, yeah. Wow,
Because I
yeah.
cannot see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So can you continue?
Yeah, yeah. For a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay.
That,
Yeah, it's good. Oh yeah, it's better lighting. Yeah, yeah. That's enough.
that is so wonderful. Like, that's just everything that we
It's
have.
good. Luna goes out there, check things out.
I changed the seat, I'm going to have a chip. I don't. I'm fine.
Oh, please go for it. That's why I got it for you. Huh?
Vení, a comer tu comida,
Let's see why this is stuck.
Note back.
Yeah. Actually, maybe that's enough for tonight. Yeah.
There's something weird that happened inside of me.
Reading that? Oh, yeah.
Very
That's good.
weird.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Yeah, go ahead. Read out. Read. I'll read a little bit.
Really.
Okay. Um, so, okay, the demigods were further informed that Ananta, the plenary portion of Lord Krishna, who is maintaining the universal planets, um, by extending his millions of hoods, would appear on earth before Lord Krishna's appearance, and they were also informed that the external potency of Vishnu Maya, with whom all the conditioned souls are enamored, would also appear by the order of the Supreme Lord, just to execute his purpose. So Vishnu Maya. Vishnu Maya is external potency. That's this illusion that people are under. It keeps them from knowing that they're a soul and their spirit and there's a God. That's why people they're under this Vishnu Maya. So God is hiding from them.
I think now these days people still believe there's no a soul inside our body.
Yeah. So these WEF people who are controlling. I mean, it's obvious they're controlling everything. They're causing all this destruction, all the supply chain, all these supply chain interruptions, the COVID thing, all of that is caused
Now there's a new one called monkey.
yeah. This is all premeditated. These are the plans of the demons. Yeah, to make people miserable and make them turn them into slaves to break their spirit. So anyway, they're under the Vishnu Maya. It keeps them in illusion. But on the other hand, this is why when devotees call for the Lord, they pray to the Lord. That's all we're all doing now. Yeah, and the Lord actually hears the prayers, and He comes and He does something. And this chanting, what we're doing, is so powerful because the Lord is coming every day. That's why I encourage everybody, if you miss the lives because they're early, especially here, watch the replays and stuff because there's messages that come.
And Lord Caitanya came.
Yeah.
Because he came.
Ah,
But I mean,
you feel it,
yeah. I moved yesterday, that I couldn't sense the presence of. Although I chanted Lord Caitanya,
Yeah.
and I couldn't sense his presence, neither I could see the image. I only see the image when you are here. And today you came and he's here. There.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just,
Yeah, it's good.
yeah.
Bring the Lord, huh?
Here, it's amazing. When you're here, I can see the image. When you're not here, I can sense it. But when you're here, I see the image. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm having potatoes chip.
It's Yeah, yeah. So that, yeah, it's interesting times, and what we're doing is actually helping the planet just by this kind of worship, because it's actually, see, it's the Lord that actually saves the planet by purifying the hearts and the consciousness of the beings, because we really can't do it on our own. You can't do it by, otherwise it's just this fighting thing. So see, it's all these principalities going on, these modes of nature. So the good people want to fight the bad people, and the bad people, and so it's a war. And there, and so sometimes the good overcomes the evil, and sometimes the evil overcomes the good, and it's this back and forth thing. But that's part of this Vishnu Maya, it's the external energy. What we do here in this chanting, we're calling the internal energy of God. It's called internal energy. See, it's actually, you could say it's Krishna's personal potency. So we call that every day, and it purifies us. It enables us to deal with this stuff. Otherwise, there's so much suicide now. It's increased so much. The statistics of the amount of suicides in the last 2 years, the amounts of people, taking medicines to deal with the anxieties, um, the insanity that's taking over. People are becoming, they can't even think properly. They can't analyze stuff. They can't even make logical decisions. They just do what they're told and programmed. It's really weird time. Uh, so how do you deal with something like that? And all this technology is in the hands of the demons, who are trying to make slaves and control the world. So what can you fight? They got all the guns. Even President Biden said, he laughed and said, "Hey man, we got all the guns. I mean, you got a few pop guns and everything. We got all high tech stuff. They got stuff they can scatter, a whole crowd, with a little beam of energy, it just scatters crowds of thousands of people. Just they go running away. They can't. Got robots that are like those things, robot machines they show on the TV and stuff. They got all kinds of strange things, and powerful technologies, mind to control minds now. Oh man, what do you think? All these what do you call it, mass shootings and everything? They make people go crazy, and get them to do stuff. Yeah, and it's all orchestrated. So that's that demoniac energy. People get so corrupted by it, and they become so demoniac and so selfish and self-centered. And what do you call they? David Icke calls them psychopaths. Yeah.
Do you think America has more guns and things than China, than Asia?
They all kind of have a lot of stuff, They got a lot of
Weird.
weird shit. Yeah, they're all. It's kind of these are just like back then. See, 5,000 years ago, they got very strong. The demons became very strong because they created what do you call it? An agreement. See, that they cooperated. Even though demons, they hate each other. They hate everybody, but they realize to get their objectives, which is control, manipulation, money, all that bullshit. I mean, they think is great. So they're just into that. So to do that, they got together, all these kings on the earth, and made an agreement. It's a repeat, the same thing. The United Nations, they got together in 1993. All the nations got together and made an agreement to depopulate the world and to and to work to change the world completely from capitalism into a kind of an integration of a communistic type thing where people are slaves under these elite forces, and these people sold out. Most people, you know, um, they just sold out. So it's a repeat of what happened. So is this natural, really? I mean, is this is this the way things should be? It's actually like a cancer. So there has to be some kind of healing. And so that you notice like the Christians are real big on healings and all that stuff. Well, it's because it's a God healing that needs to happen. The Lord has to show, that He is the purifying force. I mean, that's the only thing I found in my life. Without this contact with the Lord, there's no real purification. I can follow everybody. They're trying to. People have hope that they can purify their hearts, or they don't even know it's about purifying the heart. They just let me just follow the rules. Let me follow regulations and ceremonies, and then I'm pleasing God. That is still external. We need a very powerful process, actually, and basically that's kind of what we're doing here. This process is very powerful. It's changing the lives of people here. People are transforming into different types of beings, and for the better. Their consciousness, they're like a caterpillar becoming butterflies. All of us, this is a very amazing thing, and only God can do it. Only this grace and mercy can do it. We can't on our own. That humbles. That's really humbling for everybody. Everybody's trying to change themselves, and to purify themselves and everything. But it's really a grace thing. You just got to align with the grace of the Lord,
Yeah.
and do it like that.
Now.
Yeah, as we speak, it's happening now. I mean, I just live for this and live in this, and all is well. So much external passing for the real thing. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what it does. It imitates the real thing. See, people that are under the modes of passion and ignorance. See, this is all explained in Bhagavad Gita. Everybody should read Bhagavad Gita. You can understand how God's creation is working. Nobody knows. The elites don't know. They don't know how. They only got one eye. The illuminated eye. And that's not enough. They need the two eyes. They got to see the spiritual energy and potency and the material potency, but they only see the material energy, the Vishnu Maya. They don't see the Krishna. You can say Krishna Maya. There's a spiritual energy. So that is unknown to most people. Most people in religion don't understand it. Well, 99% of people in religion don't understand it. Vaishnavas have all the books about it, but they don't understand it either. You got to be awakened. Your soul has to be awakened, and you have to be like a Lord Brahma. You have to, as a devotee, the Lord has given us that potential to be like a Lord Brahma. You can call the Lord, and He will come and give you messages. I mean, He does me. He does many here in the Sangha now. Right? And messages to help you, to protect. He's the protector of His devotees. So we're here to help people learn how to become a devotee of the spiritual Lord, the spiritual potency Lord, not the Mahamaya, not speculators, not even teachers who are speculating. Speculating mean they're imagining what things are. This book is beyond imagination. This book is a revelation, okay? Coming from beings who have this kind of contact with the Lord, like Lord Brahma does. So we study those books, these spiritual scriptures, and it cleanses our hearts and minds, and we learn really deep things. But you really need to learn under a person who's self-realized. They realize the true self. They're connected, and then you get purified too, and then you become like that. You become like that guru, and then you become a guru for others. because people need it. They can't do this on their own. Nobody can do this. I could. I was already awakened from the beginning, and the books, just from the books, it brought me into that consciousness. But most people can't do it. They need a living presence. They live in a living person. These beings may come in like from a previous life, just like now we're making people going through the purification in the process. We're becoming self-realized, and in their next life, if they do come back, they'll just, as soon as they're in contact with anything devotional, they'll awaken, just like I did, because you carry it through into this life, and then very easily you'll understand all these things. Otherwise, people, they need to go through a living guru, otherwise, who has already awakened, either from contacting a living guru in this life or having it in a previous life and bringing it through. Such beings are so rare that they pretty much always have to be sent here, because the Maya is always trying to cover it up. This Vishnu Maya, always. If there's a little hint of this kind of bhakti that we bring in every day, big time, Maya is always trying to trick the person, try to maneuver them and squash them. Maya has these servants everywhere. That's her job, is to hide bhakti, to hide the truth. See? So, but if your bhakti is strong, just like we're here to give people a place where they can cultivate their bhakti and get very strong, then Maya will back off, and because she can't really do it. You know too much. You know her tricks. See, these books, this Bhagavatam is all about teaching us. One part of it is to teach you Maya's tricks, how she's tricking the world, how she's deceiving the world. Most people don't know that. So these books will teach you, but you need to learn under the guidance of a self-realized soul. Either way, whatever. Anything. Yeah, whatever works. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so if you learn under the guidance of a self-realized soul, then you can understand these things. If you don't, then you won't be purified enough to do so. You gotta, the heart has to be purified by the association of those whose hearts are purified by this ecstatic worship, actually. Yeah, so that's what the Lord has brought here to this world, this ecstatic worship. And it's rare right now, but it's becoming less rare because of our little group here. You notice we're getting more people coming now. More. Sometimes we have like 20, 22 people now. And that's a lot, because that's just the live. There's people watch the replays. So the world is getting purified. This consciousness is so deep, and you could say high, because it gets you high too, literally. That for years I was just teaching on this with an empty camera. Nobody was coming for 20. Well, some people come occasionally, and then they come and they go. But only in the last 5 years have people stayed. And the ones who stay, they're becoming really advanced in this devotional science, like Lalita Ganga. They stayed. Johan, Janakis, Govindas, Rivers. So many. I could just, the ones that stay, you can see they changed. They're for the better, for better than good even. They're coming into transcendental consciousness and awareness, which is uncommon. This is what we're doing is unprecedented. Usually people, in religions, they just stay like in external rules and regulated ceremonies. You don't see them in the higher levels of ecstasy and rapture that only the rare saints usually experience. But you see that here. And you're going to see it more and more here, because that's what we're doing. That's the service. And this purifies the whole planet. If anything's going to change, it's going to be because of this worship that we do here in ecstasy. It's the best chance for this planet, for the whole universe. It's the best chance for the demigods because they're part of this universe. You don't think they see what's going on in this world? You don't think this troubles them? The earth, you see, Brahma was troubled when he heard that the demons were getting strong. And so the demigods are in the mode of goodness. They're good people. They're really they think for the welfare of others. And there are a lot of people here on this earth, and we're all turning to the Lord. Hey man, you got to do something, man. These people are in big illusion. They want to, these demons. They want to go and they want to put poison in people's bodies, and they lie to them and say it's good. It's all deception after deception. And so the good people, they're calling out to God because this is a very powerful problem. And that's the idea of a savior. I mean, we need a savior. We need those who can save us because of their worship. People here we're being saved because we're calling the Lord's energy, this transcendental energy, and it protects us, and it also gives us information, gives us understanding. Otherwise, if we didn't have all of this, we would be just believing all this bullshit going on here. Most people, unless they're getting some protection of the Lord, even though they may not know it, but the Lord is giving them the intelligence to see what's going on this planet now. Not everybody does. A lot of people are what they call like the sheeple. They just tell us and we obey. What do you want us to do? Get a shot? Okay. We trust you. But they're not trustworthy. The government is not trustworthy now. They haven't been in a long time. They've been using all the taxes and things people pay against them. They use it. They put it chemtrails and poison people this way, poison people in the water, all kinds of things. The education, they spend money to give bad teachings, make stupid people. The whole system is to destroy, dumb down, control, manipulate, deceive, lie, all of that. And that's who the people are paying for their own destruction. I just became aware of this in the last 2 years. I didn't care about this. I was just chanting Hare Krishna, and I'm happy as long as I can get on a plane before and go and travel and share and meet my students. I didn't, okay, fine, it's working good enough. But now things have changed. Just like now, there's a little reprieve. They just back off a little bit, and then they come on stronger again. You'll see. You think a little back off, and then boom, stronger. I've been seeing. That's just how this energy is. So to me, the only alternative is prayer. Chanting. Getting the protection of the Lord, and that protection spills out to others also, which is great. Not everybody's strong. People are weakened by this Vishnu Maya. Even devotees who are devotees, they believe in God. They're weakened by the Vishnu Maya. It's tricked them, it's lied to them, deceived them. So you need strong association. It really helps. Otherwise, most people are tricked. Most people are deceived. Most teachers, they can't help you that well. Maybe a little bit. But, you really need somebody who's really in touch with spirit, with God's spirit. And then, everything becomes much easier, much better. Yeah, the Illumini. Yeah, so anyway, it's it's nothing to be depressed about because this is a great, glorious time in that sense. We just call the Lord stronger. Yeah. Queen Kunti, she had, in this past time, Queen Kunti was a queen. She had problem after problem after problem. But and then she kept, her life lately.
It's in my life. Yeah.
Problem after problem. And then she kept calling the Lord, and the Lord kept saving her.
Yeah.
And then at the end of her life, she says, you know what? This was the best thing for me because I kept having these problems, and they got me to turn to the Lord, and the Lord would come and save me from these things. And so that was my way of being able to connect with God. So may I have some more problems, because the Lord would keep coming, But the good news is, once that happens enough, you don't need the problems to turn our attention.
No,
You
of
just want to, you know, and
Oh,
you're
right.
just so connected. The Lord is just blessing you, and blessing others around you. You know, and after a while, they realize, let me be around these people. They're blessed people. They're blessed people, man. You don't need the disappearing hand, going out, but you don't really get any blessing. The blessing is this: the hand goes out, and you get a blessing. So you get bliss. That's that ocean of milk. What do you think that? What do you think? Is this some milky thing? The Lord is lying in this ocean of milk. The ocean of milk is the ocean of bliss. I know that because I lie in that ocean often. I like it, that ocean of bliss. It's like a very milky. Can even milk it like a cow. All right, so it's getting late here. So okay, Gainesville, you.
You want to use the restroom, and then we're gonna walk together.
Yeah, okay.
What do you want
No, it's
to do
good.
with popcorn?
Let me end this thing first.
All right.
Go to the bathroom. You're gonna have a plan like so quick. First things first. Okay, so we'll see you bright and early and bushy-tailed. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Tuka. Tarun, thank you for coming, man. Thank you for appreciating our work here. And we'll be back early in the morning. Broadcast usually about 4 o'clock Cancun time. Figure that out, whatever that is. I think it's an hour later than Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so we'll end this here.